Today I'm coming up with a very interesting topic, and I'm gonna teach you everything you need to know about Kotlin, the basic fundamental of Kotlin programming language, and everything you need to know in Kotlin just within 1 hour. So everything you need to just follow this tutorial. It's less than 1 hour, and I will be teaching you everything you need to know as a Kotlin developer. Okay, so from the pro developer point of view, because I have been developing Android application in Kotlin programming language for almost more than 4 years, and I will be sharing all my experience with you guys. So everything in Kotlin in less than 1 hour, guys. So just let's get right to it. Okay, so before going that, I will try to give you some interesting thing. I want to teach you some basic fundamental of programming, right? In any programming language, in any programming language, I will also, the another thing I would like to do is I will give you the secret of any programming language. So there are some secrets that you need to understand before you start writing a program, right? So what is the first secret? The first secret is all programs execute in steps. So they all programs that you write, whether it is Kotlin or Swift or Java or Python or JavaScript, whichever programming language you use to write programs, they all execute in steps. So it's like it's some kind of a sequential step 1, step 2, it just executes in a step. You cannot jump from step 1 to step 3 or step 10 and then come back and do again the step 2. It's like the execution happens in steps. So right, so it's like it's something sequential. So this line of code executes, and then the another line of code will be executed here. Okay, so similarly it goes and execution happens in this way, right? So yeah, this is the basic understanding, and the first secret. And what is the second secret? The second secret that you have to understand is all programs that you write, they follow certain conditions, right? Like if else condition, when conditions, and they all follow some conditions. Okay, so this is the second secret. And the third and final secret is all programs, they execute in a loop. That means they repeat in a loop using some certain loops like for each, like while, do while, and so on. So these are the three important things that you have to understand. So I should say it's like a secret of programming, any programming language, if you are starting a programming language. So let's jump directly to our concepts. And the main concept I would like to do right now is I want to explain you about some okay, let me start with uh, let me start up with giving you about the data types, right? So what are the data types in Kotlin programming language? Like first we start with integers, like let's start with bytes, byte okay. I would also want to print this one. Let's see what's it's gonna print. Okay, 1 2 3. So 1 2 3 is converted to a byte, right? So actually all bytes are uh, to a byte. Obviously it's gonna return, okay, you see, a returned in the byte is this is a character which is a Unicode character, and it is represented in this format, right, in a byte. So actually all bytes, they are a byte is 8 bits. Okay. Okay, so this is one data type. You can also have an integer, int like 1, and int can goes to 32 bytes, like bits. Then you have like sort data type, sort, which is also like it has a memory. It takes the memory of 64 bits memory. So there are floating point types. So some floating point types are doubles, like a double 12. It's also gonna take 64 bits. And float, it is also gonna take but it is gonna take 32 bits. Okay, so you can have characters, like numeric data types, right, like okay, which is 8 bits. You can have strings, IOL, and you can have so this is the strings, right? And you can also have actually a string concatenation pretty much string with the to moon. Okay, hi all to the moon. So if you write this string, if you print out this string concatenation, obviously it's gonna okay, obviously I had a error here, so let me run again. Actually it's a strings person. Okay, let me run again. Okay, hi all to the moon, guys. Okay, so this is it. And you can also have okay, so this is all about the data types, right? So there are different data types in Kotlin, like double, float, boolean, string, you have an integer, you have a byte, you have a sort, and you have a string with the concatenation, and you can also actually write a string template, like for example, let me you can also create a string template like in this way, like strings v plus okay, let me write a string template, string v plus okay, sort v. Okay, let me see what's gonna print out. Not this one, because obviously I'm missing the you see, I am missing the sort v was 12, and this is Okay, let me see what's gonna, yeah, obviously it's not. So this is like a string template expression. Okay. Okay guys, so this is all about the data type. Okay, I hope you everything is clear. If you have any questions, you can just print write in comments. Okay, and we will be moving further with other another topic, and this is like variables. So I want to give you some so let's talk about the variables. So what are the variables, the types of variables in Kotlin? There are two important types of variables, which is immutable, which is not changing, and mutable, which is changing. Okay, immutable variables are like it starts with the keyword val, and my name actually is immutable, right? Because it doesn't change. My name my name is static, I mean something which doesn't change, whereas my age keeps on changing every day, right? Today I'm 23, I will be tomorrow I'll be more, my age increases, next year I'll be 24, in this way. So so it's represented with the keyword var. So this is a mutable and this is immutable variable. Okay, so also another interesting thing that I forgot to tell you is like Kotlin has an interesting feature called type inference. Yeah, the interesting thing about the type inferences is the compiler automatically will find out the type of your variable by uh, getting it from the value. So the compiler automatically infers the type from the value that you pass. So this is the interesting thing of Kotlin, and it is called type inference. Okay, compiler automatically inferring the type, okay, the data type. Okay, so this is the interesting concept of Kotlin called type inference. And also there is another interesting thing that I forgot to tell you, is also like Kotlin is totally null safe. So that means like you cannot pass uh, for example, if my age is of type integer, I cannot pass a null value here. Like I cannot pass null, you know if I pass a null and if I try to print the age, obviously null cannot be value of null, not null type int. This int data type is a not null type, so the compiler is automatically checking the null safety, right? So your program doesn't run. So that's why. So if you want to to make your variable nullable, that means you should pass it in this way. You see, now the variable is a nullable type. Okay, so you can pass the null values to them. Okay, so this is the interesting concept in Kotlin. So okay, I would like to okay, move further with the tutorial and teach you more about some of the fundamental Kotlin operators that we use basically in programming language. There are some fundamentals like mathematical operators, like you can have plus, minus, multiplication, division, modulus. You have a increment operator, like this one, increment or decrement. Like this is increment, there is also decrement operator, which is pretty much decreasing the values. I will be giving more further examples. Okay, so I just want to list them everything. Comparison operator, we can compare less than or equals, greater than or equals, similarly. And assignment operator, you can assign values just like I assigned it the to a variable with a certain value, you can assign them. You have equality operator, which will pretty much compare if the left value the left value is equals to the right side value, so it's pretty much compares the equality. Okay, they compares between two values, right? Left and right values. And you have I already mentioned the safe call operator, like this one is also called null safety operator or a bang bang operator. So this is also pretty much checking about the null, Elvis operator, okay, which is pretty much like a conditional. If the condition is true, just run it, otherwise do something, do this, like execute this, so I will be giving some examples later on, guys. So there is a lazy disjunction operator, like or, a logical or lazy conjunction operator, which is like pretty much logical and you have a negation operator, which is pretty much this one, a bang, single bang is like this is. So just please note down this these concepts. These are some fundamental Kotlin operators. Okay, so so now let's move further with the tutorial, and I want to show you some examples of some of the Kotlin conditionals. Okay, so I will first talk about if else condition. So let's create a age. My age is 23. I told you before, if my age is less than 13, I print that I'm a child, or I should say I'm a kid. Else, if my age is between 30 it's between 13 and 19, obviously I am a teen. Else, print len I am a adult, right? So what am I? So let's run it. I am adult, right? Because I am 23 years of old. So this is a simple conditional check that you can write in a programming in Kotlin programming language. It's pretty simple, but we can pretty much simplify more further using when statements. Okay, how can we do that? Is we can use when my age is between 0 to 12, I am a kid. When my age is between 13 and 19, I am a teen. So that means the value 13 is also included, like so this range is pretty much like is inclusive range. So I mean to say it's 0 less than or equals to your value x is 0 less than or equals to, or it's greater than or equals to 0 and less than or equals to 12. Okay, similarly your value is here will be your value x will be greater than or equals to 13 and less than or equals to 19, so that 19 is included here. So okay, and else obviously I have to print I am a adult. Okay, so I want to check my condition, so let me see, I am a 12. Okay, so obviously now I'm not adult, I'm a kid. You see, I'm printing here twice. So this is like simplification of all this code, I'm simply using this code, I mean like using the same condition check, doing it using while statement. Okay, and okay, let's move further. And we can do also furthermore, like we can use for loops. Okay, now for the moment I can just cancel this. Okay, now I will explain you about some for loop. So how to use for loop. So let me create some cars. Okay, array of Audi, array of cars. Okay, Audi or Fiat, Ferrari. Okay, I have a, so what I can do is can pretty much use for each loop to print print the cars, right? I want to print the cars, so actually you can also write it in this way. Okay, so let me run it. You see, I'm looping the car, the array of cars, and just printing it out, so this is a loop. And you can also write loops in different format, like for I in the range like 1 to 10 I print I, or you can also write loop in different format, like I in 5 down to 1 print I. So you can also go down too, you don't need to even only move up, sorry. Okay, let me write it in this way. So you can also write the loops in which is pretty much performing in steps. So 2 to 20, but I am trying to step 3. Okay, so let's print this out. Okay, let's cancel this loop. I want to just see the difference between these 3 loops. Okay, I want to print extra line here. Okay, okay, I want to just also put some space here so that we will understand much better. So you see the difference here is I'm printing from 1 to 10. Okay, just let me okay, why it's not working? Because I want to put some extra space here. Okay, let me add it in this way, the extra space. Okay, let me run it now. Obviously okay, let's me do something. There is some little confusion here. Okay, I think now it should work. I will do the same for also here. guys. Okay, so because I want to put some extra space there, right? You see that here I'm looping with 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10, right? You see the difference between this loop and the, is like it's looping in an incremental order from 1 to 10, whereas I'm looping here down to, that means like I'm printing it out starting from the top to bottom. So like, so this is my top value, that is a 5. I'm just looping downwards. You can not only loop incrementally, but you can also loop in a decremental order. So this is another functionality. Also you can loop it in a steps. So that means you can start looping with number 2, but the second number is like with step 3. So you see, you're just going to the fifth number, then you can like 3 more steps, then you go to the eighth number, then 11 14 and 20s, and finally you move print out the 20, right? So if I go to the eighth like step, I want to go to extra 5 steps. Okay, so let me see what's the difference here. You see there is like no 20, like, because I'm just going from 2 plus 5 7 plus 5 12 plus 5 17 and plus 5 17 plus 5 is 22, which is outside the range. So it's not printed out. So this is it about the loops, guys. And there is also now, okay, let me write some classical loop of writing loop, that is a do while. Okay, which is very classical way, but usually it's not used. Apples, I have 20 apples. Okay, so what I'm doing to do, I'm decrementing the apple each time, and I'm printing, sorry guys, why, I don't know. I'm printing the apple each time, and while I still have the apple, right? And while the apples is less than 10. So this means this is a some classical way of doing the loop. Let me run it. Yeah, but I see just it is run once. uh, Apple is less than, let's see, I want to loop until 3. You see that the do while is run only once, so it does, and the condition, so now the apple becomes 19 is less than 3. No, uh, obviously I want to, and then that's why you see it's run only once here, and the condition was not satisfied and it didn't run anyway. So this do statement runs at least once. Okay, and if the condition is not satisfied, then it didn't run. You see, the condition didn't satisfy because I was writing if apples is less than 10, and this is false. This condition was false, that's why it didn't run the second time. But now if apples is greater than 10, then it will run. So okay, so let's try it again. So now it should repeatedly run until the condition satisfies. Okay, you see here it's 19 18 17 until it becomes 10, then it stops looping. So this is another way of doing the loop using do while statement. And now, okay, there is also another cool way of repeating your block of code, right? For example, you can write repeat. I can repeat 2 times some block of code, like function do something. This do something is actually printing x equals to 2 3 y equals to, okay, print okay, okay, I can write some value. Okay, I can pass the value. Okay, and I can print out the sum of this value. So what I can do, what I can do is like okay, okay, the sum is this one, but and do something 23 24. So you have to do this twice. So let's see if it is running it. Sorry guys, I made a mistake here. It's a int, y is a int, okay, and it's a print ln. You see it's doing this twice. Sum is 47, sum is 47. It's doing it twice. I want to do it maybe 5 times. You see, this function is called 5 times, you know, so you can repeat your code as much as you want. So this is the another interesting thing that you can do in Kotlin. Okay, and hope I have explained enough about these conditionals, and now let's move further with the Kotlin like collections. So what are some Kotlin interesting collection concepts? Okay, so so collections are obviously list, arrays, list, you know, list, and map. So I will be talking about these concepts here in collections. So first let's create our list. How do you create a list? I will create a player list, and this player list consists of object player, but before that I would like to also create a class player which has name, which has also number. Okay, I have a player which has name and number. So I have a player which has a name Ronaldo, which has a number 7, and I have another player which is, sorry guys, it's called Messi, which has number 10, right? So I have a list of players, you know, you can just pretty much simply create a list in this way, list of objects, you know. And what I want to do is I want to associate a number with the player. Okay, so let me create also a club. Actually, obviously the player has a club. So the club that this player is Ronaldo is with the Real Madrid, and Messi is obviously with Barcelona. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to associate. Okay, I want to associate a player. I want to find a player which has a jersey number, player number 10. Okay, how do I find the player number 10? It's pretty easy. In the list, player list, you see associate by and I can just by a number. So I can associate a player by number. So what it does is uses the last so it will return. So let's return this player number 10. Okay, let me print this out. So actually it's returning me the returning me a map with the specified key. Okay, so that means and then I have to get the player number 10, that is the key should be 10. So obviously if I run this, you see I get a player number 10, that is a, and if I further put the name, I will get the type player. So actually only safe or not null assertion call are allowed on nullable receiver. Okay, let me run this. Yeah, you see I get a player number 10, the name of the player number 10, because you see what it is doing, this associate by is creating a map. It's creating a map associated by the specified key selector. Okay, so the key selector is actually this number. So I want to associate a in this list. Okay, I want to associate a the each object with this specific key selector, and the key selector is its number. So I want to find a player number 10, so you can use it in this way. All right guys, so you can also use not only associate by, you can also use, there is another keyword which is group by. You can group by using a player club. Okay, so let's print out this player value, and while doing the group by, so you see I am grouping this player list with a club. So when I print out, I see there I have a map which is grouped by using the club as a key and the value as a player object, right? You can see here. So yeah, we can see that we can use group by to build a list of all suitable elements and put it in the values. So you can also, I can actually also group by using a player club or a player name or player number. Let's see what's gonna print out with the reason. Obviously it's overloaded. Okay, let me check it if I can. player. Yeah, you see, actually I'm grouping by using a club, and then I'm grouping by using the name. So what I'm doing here is pretty much it's returning a map. Yeah, obviously it's a map of a key. I want my key to be a club, but I want the value to be the name. You can also group by in this way. So you can pretty much group by using the key, or you pretty much group by using key and values. So so this is the interesting thing about group by. And we can also do filter. We can filter. So what we can filter it by if the name is has a length 5. Let's see if I find a player. Obviously we cannot find it because we have to use it in a lambda. Okay, obviously because it's wrong. You see, I have filtered a player in the list. I have filtered a player which has the name length. The length of the name is 5. That is Messi. Obviously 1 2 3 4 5. The name length is 5. Okay, and you can also pretty much use a keyword called find, which pretty much inside the lambda, which pretty much finds a name that starts with a character which is R. Obviously that's Ronaldo. If I print out, obviously you see it's printing out Ronaldo. And also you can find actually the last obviously you will print out only Ronaldo because only there is Ronaldo. If you add more player, like for example Rivaldo is a Braziliano club, is 12. Obviously it will print out Rivaldo because I'm asking the last one, find the last one, not the first one, right? Also you can use first or null. In this time you will play Ronaldo, the last one or the first or null. Or you can use a queue, like you can also actually with the list you can do multiple interesting you can just play on with the multiple extension functions that is provided by Kotlin. You can use count, and it is obviously gonna just find out the account how many players has the name starts with R. You just return the integer value, and you can partition. Let's see what it's gonna return. Number is then 7. See, you see it has created a partition of two numbers, one is it created a partition between among this list where the number is size is greater than 7. Okay, so it has created this the first player is Messi, then it has the second one is Ronaldo and Rivaldo, right? Object. Okay, so we can also now move further. We can move further by okay, so let's move further. So let's create sorry, let's keep this list because it might be necessary later on, but I want to create a mutable list. So what is a mutable list? A mutable list is a list which you can change, it's like kind of a mutable variables, as I told you. Table fruit list, table list of okay, sorry, actually apple, no, carrot. Okay, so now actually it's a mutable list. So I can add kiwi here, so and it's pretty much gonna work. You see, I have my list has also kiwi because I have added a new fruit item here, right? And similarly I can fruit remove apple, and I can print table fruit list here. At first I have a okay, let me, sorry guys, I have forgot to just do you see, this is my first list where I have added a new item, fruit item kiwi, and then I remove my apple fruit item from this second list, I mean like from the same list, right? So I'm just modifying the list. So mutable list helps you to modify your list, you can add, remove, and just play on with it, right? I mean, you can add, remove, and do multiple you can mutate your list, and so okay, let's do some interesting thing now. Is like I want to combine. Okay, I will create another car list table. BMW Ferrari. Okay, I want to combine this list. Can I combine these two lists? Combined list. I can pretty much combine the list using list of two lists like mutable fruit list and car list. Okay, so my combined list consists of a list, and I can pretty much do some interesting thing. I mean, I can do a single flat map list is oh sorry guys, list of is a combined list dot flat map and I have to transform it, so what it does, it transforms and create the single list. Okay, so let me print out the single flat map list. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, let me run it. You see, it's created a single flat map list like banana, carrot, kiwi, and like BMW, Ferrari. So it combined two lists and just flat map. That means it combined into a single list. All right. So this is all about the list. Okay. So what about the another type of collection, which is like obviously you can have also arrays in Kotlin. So you can have create arrays in this way. My array of 1 2. Okay, I can create arrays in this way, or I can create multi-type array. As you see that this is of same type, right, strings, but I can create a multi-type array. Like I can create an integer data type, then I can have I can create floating points. I can even mix the data types, and pretty much works. Let me see if it really works, guys. Okay, let me run it. Okay, it's not working, guys. Why it's not working? It's not working because I'm trying to print out the array, right? First, okay, I want to get the first item because I was printing out the object. Okay, first time is 1. Okay, sorry guys, actually I was trying to multi-type array for each print ln. Okay, so now you will see all the items of the array. You see 1, 2 and 2.2. so this verifies that we can create an array of multiple types in the same array, right? So this is the interesting thing about array. So now let's move further with another collection, which is also set. It is like a unordered or without duplication. Okay, You can add a collection of objects which is unordered and without duplication, like my book set has set of I have a set of book which is book 1, again book 1, book 2 and book 3. Okay, so set for, so I want to print and see if the book 1 is printed twice, because as the rule says, you cannot have a set of duplicate items in the set. So that means if you also mistakenly add a duplicate, then it will automatically take this as a single item, so it will not add the duplicate. So so that's why you can verify it here by doing a loop, and you see it's printing just the unordered without duplication items, right? So this is a set. So now let's move further and let's go to another type of collection, which is a map. Map is pretty much like a key value pair. Okay, and map, let me create a map, and this map so my map has 1 to 1, 2 to 2. This is a simple map. My key is 1 and my value is 1. My key is an integer and my value is a string. You see, so this is a pretty much simple way of creating maps. Similarly, you can have also mutable maps, immutable maps, like this is immutable map. And you can, okay, let me also loop on the map. See what prints 1 equals 1. So actually it's printing out the entire key value pair, right? And but I want just the value. I just want the value, I don't want the key, right? You see, 1 and 2. And yeah, you can just do multiple things with the, if key, like you can just key equals to 1, print the value, so obviously now let me see reference key, why it's not working. Yeah, obviously because I'm not passing the reference. Okay, you see, if the key is 1, print the value is 1. And yes, we can do multiple things with the map. You can okay, let me think. What we can do more is we can do multiple things with the mutable map. But as you can see here, so I want to create a mutable map. Okay, not immutable map, mutable map, sorry guys, map. Okay, see, I am trying to create a mutable map of these items, and with this mutable map I can pretty much do multiple things, like if mutable map contains, you can check if the contains key, your key can be 1, then print contain map contains the key. Yeah, map contains the key, obviously. So you can also check if the map contains the key, and you can do multiple things. But okay, let's move further. We can also have a hash map. And what is a hash map actually? Hash map is similar to the map, but it is pretty different in the way like how you create it. Okay, so let me create a hash map, which is a hash map of sorry, you can, it's a kind of a pair. Okay, so you can have a pair of 0 to 0, or you can have another pair which is 1 to 1, similarly. And you can do a lot of interesting things here, like anyone has map. You can just do check out if the hash map contains the key which is 0. So it is pretty much, this extension function any will return if any of this key is present here. So this will return true or false, print any one does anyone exist? Yeah, it exists. You see it's a true here. And you can also do, sorry guys, you can also do the same thing using if all is 1, all is 0 actually. So if all is 0, does is all 0, obviously it will return false, because not all the keys are equals to 0, because here this is 0 and this is 1, right? So you can also use this kind of checks here. So yeah, finally this is everything about the collection, and I hope I have explained enough for you guys. And finally, maybe I can give a little more information about some interesting concept of about null safety in Kotlin. So so you see in that Kotlin by default null variables are not allowed. Okay, so if we use the safe operator after the type, we can then assign null to the variables. Like for example, I have already explained you before. Like for example, your balance, you cannot assign null, you see. uh, if I try to print out, it's gonna give me an error. You see, null cannot be a value of a not null type, right? Integer. So you can pretty much use a null safe operator, safety operator, and then pretty much you can now use this. Now there is no error and your balance is a null. Okay, so you can also have pretty much as a bang bang operator, and which is pretty much like bang bang operator, which is also pretty much like a null safety, but it works in a different way. Okay, let me give you an example. Like if you have a book array, then array of you can have a null, you can have your book one, you see you have an array of books, right? Or let's say book 2. So here, how to use a bang bang operator? Like I want the size of your array. So book array length, obviously this will throw an exception, right? If I want to print the size of this book, the book name size, okay, obviously this will throw the exception. You know why it's gonna throw the exception? Because you know what I'm trying to do is I'm with in this array, I'm just trying to get the name of the length of the first items of the array, but the first item is null because this is a nullable type array, right? And obviously this is gonna throw the error, right? Because I'm trying to access null value and trying to get the length of this null value. So what I can do is I can pretty much use a bang bang operator and just um, get the length, right? So what it's gonna do is it's gonna pretty much throw the exception. What is the use of this bang bang operator? Is not it throws the null pointer exception. As you can see here, it throws the null pointer exception if the value of the array in the index is null, right? So there is a way to solve this kind of a way to solve this error. In case if your value is null, how can you solve that? Is you can use a pretty much okay, solved if null is, you can do book array, you can access your value, then if it is null, okay, you can use the safety operator, you can try to access the length, and if it is null, you print the default value as 0. Okay, so you can use this elvis operator to provide default value in case of null. So you can solve this in this way. So let me try to get the book name of first book name size of the first book is size solved if null. Okay, let me run this. Okay, let me put this in this way. Okay, let me comment this because I don't obviously this is gonna throw the exception. Okay, let me run this now. Okay, obviously we also have exception here, so let me comment this. Obviously you see now we have a book name size of the first book is 0. You see, using the Elvis operator we are passing the default value as a null when the value is null, right? So this is all about handling your null values in Kotlin. Okay, so I hope I have explained you enough uh, about the basic of Kotlin uh, from a advanced point of view. So hope you will like it, and if you have any comments or if you have any questions about all the fundamentals of Kotlin, then you can pretty much ask me more about that, and hope you like it. And thank you guys, and catch you on the next lecture.